Live on DAZN Worldwide, May 2nd and 3rd, a knockout weekend of boxing. Garcia versus Romero and Canelo versus Skull. 2 huge fights. Pick one or go all in for only $90. Exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas, Fight Up TV, being joined with Arnold Barboza, who fights Teofimo Lopez, coming up in the middle of Times Square on DAZN pay-per-view coming up next week. Arnold, man, this is kind of this is a crazy card because of like where it's going on. But man, we're just a few days away. How are you feeling? What's been going on through your mind?
Oh man, I'm just anxious. I'm just I'm ready to go. We close camp tomorrow here, and I get to go home, and see my family for a day or two. They're traveling with me this time, so I'm excited about that. Out of past 5 months, I've been to Big Bird like four and a half of those months, so I haven't really had time to be home, man, with the family. So I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Get this fight over with, and go on a nice vacation, man.
What's the first place you have in mind?
Well, the family, we're planning a trip. Hopefully, God willing, we can all go to Hawaii. And then from there, come back up to Big Bear for 2 weeks, and chill out here, enjoy it. Cause I'm out here just training. So I want to go to the stores and, take the family, and so we'll see, but we have a couple spots that we want to do.
Hey, so reflect on this camp and let me know. I haven't had a chance to really talk to you about the preparation for Teofimo Lopez coming up on May 2nd. Now that camp is just about finished, what can you tell me?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you the same thing every fighter's gonna tell you. It went great,
Best camp of my life.
Yeah, best camp of my life. But honestly, man, it was a good camp. It was a relaxing camp. Had some great sparring up here. Closing it out. But it's been good, man. It's been good, relaxing. You're out here in the woods, man. I love it. But it's been fun, man. It's been good. Relaxing, chill, and ready to go.
I know Devin is training up there also at Shane Mosley's gym. You guys ever come across each other in a morning run or anything like that?
Nah, man, he was on a different schedule. I think he was running like later or something. But nah, man, it's crazy because the Mosley gym is like literally down the street, like literally like 2 minutes. You can even walk there, like probably be there in like 3 minutes. And I didn't run into him, at all. So it's cool. He came up to Big Bear and used the same sparring partner I did for Ramirez, so it's pretty cool. He took the recipe.
Okay, yeah, like I don't know, you guys could have even maybe sparred. I know it's a completely different style, but still could have been pretty good work.
Yeah, no. Bill actually reached out to my pops, but at the end of the day, yeah, he wasn't gonna help me. He doesn't have steel style at all. I think if anything, I kind of would have helped him for Ramirez, but he wouldn't have helped me. So we just brought up our own sparring partners and kept it business as usual.
So when we look at this fight, like from me just observing and talking to fans, like this has become like one of the most anticipated fights of the nights because of the back and forth between you and Teofimo. When I look at like the dynamics between you guys, it seems really personal. Where is that stemming from? Because I know it goes beyond the press conferences.
Oh yeah, it goes way back, man. When he first came up to the division, like Teo, like I'm not saying me and him were the best of friends at all, because we but when we see each other, like we'll shake hands and stuff, I remember first meeting him when he was trying to get the Loma fight, and I remember I was fighting on a Loma undercard, so he was chasing Loma everywhere, and I remember he went to the hotel, and then Top Rank kind of like kicked him out because Loma didn't want him there, So so yeah, man. I mean, it just goes back to it was more of his dad, saying stuff, and then me and his dad got into it, and then me and Teal started getting into it, and then also it goes it was deeper than that, because it's like it was almost like the Ramirez fight, like I was with Top Rank and he was Top Rank, and I was just not getting opportunities, and he can move up a division and get a title shot right away, so I was like, man, like that's I don't sit right. I've been in this division for years and years, and I have all these little belts, and I can't even get a shot. So it's just stuff like that, man. This is the fight. This is the fight. I can't look past this fight. I can't even see past this fight. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to share the ring with him, man. He's a good fighter. So it's I think that's gonna make my resume look you know unbelievable.
So this to you is a result of years and years of being like overlooked and not given, I would imagine, your chance based on like your merit of winning fights. This is really where it stems from, like them pretty much like overlooking you and not giving you your like due respect.
Oh yeah, man. That's exactly what it is. That's the most the the big part of it. I was always taking high risk, low reward fights and waiting for the big one and getting told like, oh yeah, it's gonna come, and never did. It's crazy, man. Go to Golden Boy and grass is greener, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been amazing, man. It's been amazing.
So I know you had mentioned this at a press conference. You feel that like Teofimo has been avoiding a fight for you. Um, do you feel that he really was avoiding you, or do you think maybe it was other things? Like, do you feel like strong? Like, no, yeah, like he knows I'm a bad style for him. This is why.
I don't know if it's that like I don't, but I know he did avoid me, but I just don't know if it's like because of the style or maybe he just didn't want to give me the opportunity. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I know for a fact Teofimo was not scared. You know what I'm saying? We're us as fighters. I don't think any fighter is scared to fight any other fighter. It's just a matter of it's got to make sense. And right now we put his back against the corner. Winning the interim and forcing it. So you can't deny it no more. So Turkey wanted it as well. So I think that's the reason why this fight's happening. So but look, man, we're excited. All that stuff doesn't matter anymore because the fight's here, 7 days away, and we're excited.
Yeah, given what happened at the press conference, man, are you still a little, gets a little annoyed, a little irritated about like what he did and him, at the LA press conference, him trying to slap you and all that?
No, man, he did slap me, but at the end of the day, you got past that. You gotta have thick skin, man. I just, I actually was the one that felt real bad of the situation, because of how the people that were around me, how they reacted. My mom was even about to jump on stage. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, they come from a different background. So like just to that situation put them where they should like change them how they shouldn't be. So that kind of bothered me. So and I just told them sorry, man. I put them in that situation. So but at the end of the day, man, we're moved past that, and we got to focus on the plan ahead.
Yeah, I had saw something on Twitter about that, but I didn't know if it was true. I guess it kind of did happen then, right?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff happened after, man, and telling you, it was crazy, man. But like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like seeing that part of my family, myself, so it won't happen again.
Well, they're ride or die. That's your family.
Hey man, but I had friends, but see, I had friends that like in the crowd too. They were just like silent assassins, bro. They're just and I was like, nah, man, like this is my money, bro. Like what I'm saying.
Don't
So
mess up the bag. Don't mess up the
yeah,
bag.
yeah, like just let it go, bro. So we're good.
All right, man. When we look at this fight and how you match up against Tio, man, you're so well rounded, and I think one of your strong points is you're so patient and like you don't like overreact to everything because like it works in your favor. Like I would imagine you know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
you're like so composed in there, even when things do get a little tricky. Because you're so composed, you're able to assess the situation in the ring. Given that, like, how does the fight play out in your mind?
Oh man, the fight plays out in my mind a lot of different ways, and I play the fight in my mind a lot of different ways because I can do, I can brawl, I can box, I can do it all. So I play the fight, even in sparrings, I switch it up, and I see what works best, and come fight day, we have a game plan, but we also have plan B, plan C, so we're we're excited, we're ready, we I'm ready to take a break, after this, coming off of don't forget, man, people are like I was telling Jane that I I've been in Big Bear for 5 months, and well, three camps now, and the past 5 months I've been in Big Bear for like four and a half of them, maybe I almost all five, so hard camp with Ramirez, hard camp with Catero, and like no break hard camp with Teo. So man, I'm ready after this to get this dub and hopefully take a vacation, man. I'm gonna block Rick's number for like a week or something.
Well, hey, being active is a good thing coming into fights. This is Teo's fight in a while. I think the last fight he had was against Steve Claggett. I know you had mentioned at your post fight with Catterall that your dad is very meticulous about preparing a plan and looking at tape. How has that process been for preparing for like a Teofimo, given that he has a lot of natural abilities? He's really fast. He's really explosive.
Yeah, man. My dad's put together a great game plan. He studies like no other, man. He's a boxing junkie, bro. If there's fights on, and I don't know where and what channel he'll find him. He just loves boxing. He's put together a great game plan. He knows how to beat him. Because like you said, man, I think the biggest problem he gives a lot of fighters is he's very athletic. He does, he's very athletic, and but so am I. I'm very athletic as well. So we're gonna see how it's gonna play out, man. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be real fun. This people are really looking forward to this fight more than I think any other fight on the card, and trust me and Teofimo are gonna deliver.
Yeah, that's like the big thing with Teo is the speed and the explosiveness. I know he's been putting out a lot of clips, building your guys' fight. Like you as a fighter, when you prepare, like when your opponent puts out clips on the internet, like do you ever like give it a look and really study that?
No, man. To be honest, like I have a social media guy that runs my page, but like I don't know, I'm not on it at all, man. Like I haven't. I just been up here, and focusing on myself, and focusing on what we do. I'm not really too worried about what he's gonna bring. So just gonna focus on what we can do. So look, man, I'm excited. I'm ready. And can't wait.
Yeah, you got you're in a good spot, and you have a lot of opportunities if you win this fight against Teofimo. In terms of the weight class, like how much longer do you want to stay at 140, Arnold?
As long as I need to. As long as if there's big fights at 140, we can stay there. But it seems like a lot of fighters they came to 140 and now they're going up to 47. So they came and they did their thing and now they're moving up. So look, man, if there's bigger opportunities in 47, then we can go there. But 40, is where I'm at. For this fight, and if there's big opportunities at 47 after this, then we can take it. If not, then we stay at 40.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because yeah, it seems like everybody is moving up, and like
Yeah.
47 is starting to get filled up also as well. So I was just kind of curious, like if you're seeing that and you're thinking, like maybe I should go up to 47 next.
No, yeah, I mean, obviously, when you don't have to lose those extra 7 pounds, it helps. That's amazing. Because even though like every fighter that says like, oh, I don't have trouble making weight, everyone still has trouble making weight. Like it's the worst thing. But yeah, man, just if 47 has big opportunities, we go there. If not, we can stay at 40.
Yeah, one of those opportunities, I think, if you win, you would get slotted. I know there was talk that if Teo were to win, I know you're planning on him not winning, but if he were to win, we could see a fight with him and Jaron Ennis. I would imagine you would get slotted into that. Like, would you be interested in that?
Yeah, like I said, if the opportunities are bigger and it makes sense for 47, we're going. It's not a problem. We started our career at 47. Our first fight. So yeah, that's a very definite possibility. It's crazy. My last two fights, they had plans for those fighters, and I destroyed those plans. So plan on doing it again.
Yeah, that's right. Catterall and Teo, that was supposed to be the fight, and then yeah, you went ahead and messed those plans up. When you look at like your motivation, I know there was a lot of motivation for you coming into that Catterall fight. How does that compare to the motivation in this fight? Like, do you feel it's more because of how personal it is, or because of how much is at stake opportunity wise for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think both. You look at the opportunity. What it could mean, and man, the sky's the limit. Winning this fight. So it's all motivation. It's all motivation. All excitement. Not only that, but winning this fight also, think about my family, it sets them up, so I'll take the sacrifices, I'll take the hits, I'll support the family. So here we go.
Hey, I'm curious. When it comes to the week of the fight and we get closer and closer, are you the type that kind of is thinking constantly about the fight and replaying how you plan to approach the fight and if Tio does this or that, or are you the one where you just want to keep your mind occupied because you don't want to think about it too much?
Yeah, I usually don't think about the fight too much during the days. It's just the night times, when you start going to sleep, you're like, dang, you start thinking about the fight and playing it in your head, But of course, man, I think about the fight and I visualize how I'm gonna win and I even visualize, man, like what I'm gonna say after my win, So it's all, man. It all comes to fruition, So like I said, May 2nd, man. It's gonna be something special and crazy. I heard it's my reign too, so it's gonna be even crazier.
So then, yeah, how do you see yourself winning in this fight, Arnold?
Man, you know what? To be honest, man, I vision myself winning both ways by knockout and by decision. At the end of the day, to me, I don't, I go into every fight, just going to see like just winning the fight, by any means necessary. So that's how I see myself. I just see myself winning the fight no matter what, by any means necessary, whether it's points, whether it's decision, whether it's knockout. To me, as long as I win the fight, that's all that matters.
I know this might sound like a cliche question because we always ask the fighters like, "Oh wow, no, you think you can knock this guy out?" And I know when you guys are confident about you guys as fighters, your ability to be able to do something like that. In terms of Tio, we've seen him hurt with the Cambosis fight, but he had mentioned, he had medical issues going into that fight. Do you see a lot of openings there for him to be knocked out?
Yeah, I do. I really do. But that's every fighter. Every fighter has openings. And I think people, they don't give me credit for my power because of my knockouts. But when they fight me, it's different. If you notice, they're cautious and they're not like, once they get hit, and they're like, oh, So look, we're gonna see what happens, man. Very excited, with 8 ounce gloves, anything's possible, man. Look what happened with Jaime, when he fought. The guy only had I don't know, 3, 4
Yeah,
knockouts, I don't know,
yeah,
but
like 2, 3, yeah.
yeah. So when you get hit on the button, man, you get hit on the button, So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you're kicking off the telecast part of the night, but I'm just kind of curious, what you think about the co-main event and the main event. Like, what do you think about like Devin and Ramirez? Seeing that you fought Ramirez before.
Man, I think you got to give credit to Devin. Ramirez is a tough fight, man. That's a tough fight to come back from, especially after your last fight. Um, and to be at like 47 or 45, whatever they're gonna fight at. So like, even Ramirez gonna come stronger, because he I think the weight was affecting him as well. So I'm excited to see that fight. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to see the fight, because after my fight, I don't know if they're gonna kick us out or whatever they can do. But I'm excited to see that fight. I got Ramirez on that one. And the Rolly and Ryan, man, I think Ryan's gonna come and make a statement, and let people know he's back.
Are you picking Ramirez because you guys fought, or is it because of something else?
Both, man, because we fought, and I've been keeping up with them, ever since we fought. Um, and he just looks good, man. Like he looks good and mentally and physically. He looks amazing right now. So I'm no one knows how Devin's coming back, so it's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, that's the big question there is like, how is he going to come back? And I've asked a lot of people like, hey, it's been a year, it's been a long time. Like, do things like that really affect you as fighters? And a lot of them had said like, yeah, like, because you're hesitant, because you're not sure what's going to happen when a punch lands, and you wonder like, what's going to happen.
No, no, yeah, man. Like the thing is like my dad says is like it's better to get knocked out with one punch than to go to like through a whole fight like a beating like that, because your chin isn't it's never the same. I don't think. And Ryan landed some vicious shots, man. You seen his face was swollen. So it's like Man, it's gonna be interesting, man, when he gets hit with that first shot because at the end of the day too, he can be how's his mindset like, dang, I don't want to get hit with this, I don't, so it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm telling you, and Ramirez is a bull, bro. Like people don't understand, he's a big boy, man. He's a big boy. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's certainly like the whole night. It's a great card. For you, Arnold, a win over Teofimo, just given your history and given the fact that you felt like you've been like overlooked and not given your just due. Like, what would it mean to you to get a victory over someone like Teofimo?
Oh man, it would mean everything, like I said, for my life, for my career. um Man, I've my last two fights, man. I've shown that I belong here. I beat Ramirez, and I went to the UK, man, and beat Catro, which not a lot of people can do. Um, so I think my resume speaks for itself. I earned this shot, and I'm looking forward to taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, what would you like to see happen if you do get the win versus Teofimo? I know you mentioned vacation. You're going to get your vacation, but what would you like to see happen?
Oh man, you know what? I can't even see past that, man. That's how focused I am on him. You know what I mean? But look, man, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, man. There's gonna be so many doors that are open, and sky's the limit, man. I mean, and man, it's gonna be amazing, man. I can't wait.
And finally, are you mentally prepared for a Teofimo this week coming up that's going to try to play mind games and is going to try to do similar stuff that he did in the LA and the New York press conference?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. I'm done. I'm done with the show. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, Look what happened last time, man. It could have went a lot different. And I'm done with that show, man. I'm just, there's no need for it no more. That already happened. All this stuff happened with the build up. So now we just look forward to Friday.
Yeah, to end this, at the LA press conference, you must have thought like, what the hell? Like, how is he wearing like a vest like I am, right?
Bro, like I was
Okay, that was
like,
the first thing I thought. He like both these guys got to be thinking like, what? Like, how are you wearing this?
yeah, man. So like, it's crazy. I went and got mine custom made, man. At a shop. It was pretty cool, man. And when I got there, like someone was like, "Oh, Teofimo's wearing the same thing." I was like, "Get, bro, don't." I was like, "Man, stop," like. I was like, nah, man, but it was crazy to me, man. I was just like, no way, bro. Like, and then I seen him, and I was like, oh, bro, like this is crazy, bro. Like, I was like, maybe in another life, me and Teofimo could have been good friends, bro. But maybe we think alike. I don't know, bro. It was crazy to me.
Could have been like that scene on Step Brothers. Like, did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends, bro? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
You're like, nah. I got to take care of business first.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff, Arnold, man. It was a good chat. Good catching up with you. If you want to go ahead and leave any last words for fans on what to expect from you coming up on May 2nd in Times Square, now's your chance.
Yeah, man. I just tell the fans, man. You can expect an explosive fight, entertaining fight. Me and Teofimo are gonna put on a show for everybody. Can't wait to see you guys May 2nd. Tune in, man. Pay per view. Um, uh, yeah. See you guys there.
All right, no matching clothes the rest of the week. All right.
Yeah. That's a promise, man.
All right, Arnold. Good chatting with you, man. I look forward to your
Appreciate you,
fight.
man.
Thank you.
Thank you.